Yo, I'm the king.
I'm the Prince. How we doing, y'all?
Like we appreciate all the feedback we've been getting back on the episodes. You know what I mean? That's really motivating us to keep this going. We got a lot
So,
more coming. And soon we're gonna be going live with y'all. So just stay tuned for that. We got some things going. So,
mhm.
what's up, man?
What's up, Pop? I'm chilling. I'm actually not chilling. I'm doing terrible. I'm just trying to mask it right now. We down 3-1, so I'm trying to see some LeBron like, Kyrie like type comeback, but it's looking shaky. It's looking
Well,
shaky.
yeah, it is. So we'll see. It hopefully it'll turn out for the best. I'm still rooting for the Knicks. They played when uh
Yesterday, last night,
but when their next game.
tomorrow. That's gonna be
Oh,
when? No, Thursday.
so they're only doing the one game in between, the one day in
Yeah,
between. Oh
yeah. I was
wow.
saying that they're not even gonna have like that 2-day rest period until the finals. So. Which makes
Oh
sense
wow.
because they're gonna be flying West Coast, East Coast, so
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna need that day to get over that jet lag.
Okay. Okay. So it's a lot of things, man. I've been seeing in the sports world and just entertainment, you know,
Mhm.
itself.
It's whack, man. It's whack in my opinion. Like a lot of the narratives that's getting painted that is not sports. It's like everything that you don't want in sports, like politics, religions, race, wars, like all that stuff that you don't like to see that sports really would take us out away from. You would see a lot of people come together that maybe have different opinions on a lot of those things of different races, different cultures, and we would look to sports to that kind of that refresher, that space where none of that stuff really matters. We all come together and just celebrate a team or a sport, but now everything's just getting mixed in together, and it's ugly to see. It really takes away from the product, in my opinion.
It does. It was funny because the podcast, the Juice from the Cuse, me and uh, my co-host Jesse, we last year we spoke about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, like that whole big controversy when they were coming out, and everything that was going on with them. Who would
Mm.
have thought? A year later, here we are still talking about them, and in the sense of, I think a lot of the times the media looks to flash a negative light on that whole situation. And the thing that I
Definitely.
don't I don't like is they continuously make Angel Reese to be the villain. They keep making her to be the
Mm.
bad person. And like this whole RG3 Ryanclark beef, we got to talk about it. Stephen A has been talking about it.
Mm.
Cam has been talking about it. And, I was listening to Stephen A's podcast, and a lot of the things that he was saying, I was agreeing with. And in the sense of this was done on their platforms, which I can appreciate because here we have our own platform. So when
Yeah,
you have your
exactly.
own platform, you're able to speak freely. You're able to say what you want to say. In some sense, you still have to have regulations in what you're saying because you still
Of
are a
course.
public figure. But what I didn't like right off the bat, what RG3 did was he brought ESPN into the mix. And why I didn't like that was because it's like now you're trying to get the people at ESPN, like, what's going on? Why are we being
Yeah,
brought up into
exactly.
this? So now they're going to look at it now, and it's like, okay, at that point, you're trying to do these little subtle shots where they will start paying attention to try to get this man either reprimanded or fired. And that's not cool because now you're
Mhm.
tearing down another individual. If y'all have your own personal beef, fine. Y'all can speak about it on y'all platform. Y'all can meet up in person and speak about it. That's all good. But when you start going to a point to where you're trying to deal with a person's livelihood, like their job, you fighting dirty now. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm
And
saying? And I didn't like that.
and he really tried to use that aspect of RG3 mentioning his wife and really tried to paint that as like, oh, Ryan Clark was attacking his wife and all of that. But one is like when you bring yourself into that personal space, it's like if that's RG3's podcast, why is your wife in the background nodding, clapping, doing whatever? Literally what Ryanclark said that she was doing, which was true, because that was one of the things that I noticed in the video. I'm like, okay, this Ryanclark, I mean, this RG3 talking, but this is his wife, I assume, in the background while he's talking about this topic. He knew what kind of picture he was painting with even having her in the video. So it's like, regardless if it was Ryanclark or the Shade Room or any other media outlet, your
Yeah.
wife was in the video, so she is now going to be a part of that video. She's going to be an
It's
aspect
fair
of that
game.
video. Just as everything that you said in that video is fair game. So your sports
Exactly.
opinions and your wife is there, so everybody can assume that she holds the same sports opinion that you do. So if that's the
Exactly.
case, then she is gonna be held to that same criteria that you are
Accountability.
as well. So
Yep.
it is like at the end of the day, all Ryan Clark said was that you don't know what it's like to have a black wife or a black daughter, to know how they feel when they see Angel Reese painted as a villain, when they go look on Angel Reese comments, whether that be Instagram, TikTok, it's a bunch of people either talking about Cece or talking about how much she isn't like Cece. So
Hmm.
it's a lot of people that are feeding into this narrative that RG3 is also painting. So he's really just trying to play this victim route. And like you said, just trying to raise those antennas over there at ESPN to see how many feathers he can ruffle. Because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
you knew he didn't say anything to attack your wife. He didn't say anything to discredit her. He didn't say anything.
About
And
his
I
kids.
even believe, yeah, I believe in the tweet that Ryan Clark put out. He even said that he met his wife and that she was a lovely lady and had no reason to, you know, feel any way about her. So it was just sad to see RG3 take that approach, because if you wanted to keep it sports, you could have kept it sports. But the moment you started portraying Angel Reese as this, oh, like this loud ghetto black girl, is really what he was trying to do, making
Black
fun of how
woman.
she was over
The
there
angry
clapping,
black
rolling her
woman.
neck, like, and
Yeah,
it's
I
like
didn't
everything
like
I've
that.
seen, that's corny, because everything I've seen from Angel that's literally outside of CC is nothing but positivity. She's always giving back.
Exactly.
She's picking up players, whether that be in college, high school, putting them on a podcast, on her podcast, always showing love. And the difference that RG3 isn't understanding, when he was like, "Oh, Angel Reese would have tried to sucker punch Caitlin Clark if
I
she
didn't
would have
like
held
that.
back."
Yeah, that's
That's not
that's
happening.
so corny. It's
And
so corny,
when
man.
you get fouled, are you going to pop up real quick to see what the other person is on, the other temperature is on? See, all right, that was a hard foul. You fouled me because you think I'm trying to, hurt you, or you
Yeah.
trying to hurt me. You gonna hop up. Anybody that plays sports. There's been plenty of times where I'm sure RG3 done got hit a little too hard, and he was like, "Oh dang, like was that a personal hit, or you playing
Exactly.
football?" So it's like, and I'm pretty sure the way he popped up, he probably could have had his fist ball, hands raised, but nobody thought like, "Oh, you gonna sucker punch somebody?" Don't nobody on the basketball court think they about to get sucker punch hit at any level, because nobody includes that into basketball. No matter how you play and how physical the game is, you never thinking like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to get blindsided and hit because of a hard foul." No matter, unless you hitting somebody, you punching, you swinging somebody on that said foul.
Intentionally. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
This
I
is
ain't never,
the
and I've never seen Angel react like that to in any situation that I would think that she's about to hit somebody. So I doubt it would be this first time. Like the foul was hard, but it wasn't like Angel just got up like, all right, that's what you want. Like we fouling, like
exactly.
that was an intentional foul, or you trying to wrap me up? Like
And
corny.
what he has to realize is this is a competitive sport. The WNBA, since I really can't go, maybe the last 10 years, has gotten the high level of competition, but it's also has gotten more aggressive. And that's good for the sport. You know what I mean? So when you're dealing
Mhm.
with these players at high intense, whether they have their own personal issues, they still keep it professional. But at the same time, it's a competitive nature. Nobody's out there just tapping them. No,
Yeah.
they're playing hard. So whether Caitlin Clark, which I didn't think it was done intentionally, but it was a hard foul. It's not the first hard foul in sports. It's not going to be the last. You know what I mean?
Right?
So to for him to insinuate she's coming to sucker punch her, for him to do the whole neck movement, it bugs me because what he's doing is he's already adding to the stereotype that black women are angry, black women are this. And here, as a black man, and it's true. Yes, we have to protect black women, just like we have to protect all women. You know what I mean? Just as much as I think we have to protect Angel Reese, we have to protect Caitlin Clark. But what happens is why we get so defensive, and I know why I get so defensive over Angel Reese is because they continuously out to make her as the bad person. You know, he's not the first one to do it. I think why it's becoming so talked about now is because now you're seeing it from a black man who has a platform and he has his wife who is Caucasian in the background. And what she's doing is she's cheering him on, like everything that he's saying. And that's not right. You know, if the shoes were the other way around, would it be still the same thing? Would he be going at Caitlin Clark just as hard if Angel Reese, you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
thing. It really, you know, and I was proud of Ryan for speaking up. Now, if the one thing I agreed with Stephen A. The moment you do bring in the wife or family, it does get touchy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Regardless, whether you were saying it in a way to make a point or whether you were pointing that out because she was in the background, the moment you do cross that line, then you know it's going to come with some type of slack. Now, he didn't disrespect her. I didn't hear him say anything about the kids. And the reality of it, RG's three kids, they're biracial. In society, they're going to be looked at as little black kids.
Yeah.
So when these topics do come up, and they will, how is he going to deal with it knowing everything that he's saying? Because again, this is the stuff that's on the internet. Those kids are going to have to go to school. They're going to have to hear talks from other kids. They're going to have to hear talks from, and I know they're young, but see, things like this is always going to be, it's going to always follow him. So he really has to watch what he's saying. But to me, this is our platform. When you're speaking freely on the platform, that's the way that you should be able to go back at him. The moment you start bringing in his job and things like that, it's like, okay, now I see what you're doing. Now, that right there, I really thought was a corny move. I thought it was weak, and I stand on that, but I hope this plays out the best way, not in a negative way, because I don't want to see either of them lose what they've worked so hard for. But I think RG3 really has to not play this victim role, and I think he has to clean this up in a sense because he's really looking like he's trying to be the victim, and then he's trying to make everybody else the bad guy in this situation. He's trying to make Angel Reese that way, and he's trying to make Ryanclark that way. So,
And that's a pattern that I've seen from RG3 literally since he even got into sports media. Like he will
Okay.
have that devil's advocate type opinion or statement, and then kind of try to hide his hand behind it, like
Yeah.
he didn't really feel that way. And it's like, yo, if that's how you feel, at least be like, I can't think of the other dude that was from ESPN, the black dude Whitlock. Like at least like
Yeah, he's another one.
he would have those a-hole opinions and like those off the wall statements, but at least he gonna stand behind it. When
Behind
somebody
it,
check
yeah.
him about it, he gonna I said it, and I'm gonna sit here. No matter how dumb he sounded, he would sit there and defend it. Now it's like
Yeah.
the first thing, instead of defending what he was trying to say, his main points about Angel Reese, he's talking about my wife and kids. ESPN do something to him. Like, first of all,
Yeah.
like what ESPN ain't got nothing to do because ESPN has so many different media people that they have on their team that do other podcasts and platforms on their own, there's no way that they will be able to censor Ryanclark without being able to censor Stephen A. and censor this
Exactly.
person and censor this person. So it's like once you start doing that, it becomes to a point where it's like you do. Are you even arguing sports opinions, or are you looking to just uproot sports media and just have these crazy takes, these crazy opinions? Because like we've had enough of those. We've had people like that in sports media. It gets old and tired quick because you're not bringing any substance. You have tons of football experience and knowledge, and you here speaking on WNBA, which you clearly don't care about.
Exactly. And then it becomes political. And that's where you have, you do have the freedom of speech, the freedom of press. These are the things that are actually there to, and because if you look at what we're bound by that also. We're able to
Mhm.
sit here and speak about something that is going on and actually tell this our side of, our opinion and our side of the story of it without being what's the word? Without it being regulated in that sense.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
I really, it's like I'm here for it because it is like Cam Newton said, it is entertainment. So I am here for it. I just don't like when people play dirty. If we're gonna fight fair, let's fight fair. And that's the thing
Yeah.
with RG3, because I really didn't even know about his podcast until this whole situation came
Yeah.
about.
Same.
So now to know if that is the way his platform is set up, where his wife is in the background, regardless of whether it's race, whatever they're speaking about, some people may not take the Ryanclark route. Some people may just go at both of them in a very derogatory way. Because again, the moment you turn that camera on, who's ever in that picture, whoever's sitting back there agreeing with it, unless it's a child or something like that, it's
Mhm.
really fair game. So when you got to look at it from the perspective of us or whoever, they're looking at his wife in the background, just like, 100% agreeing with everything. So now it's at
Mhm.
that point like, okay, well, now I am going to say what I want to say about her since she was in so cahoots with you with everything that you were saying. So, like I said,
And
I hope it plays out the right way, and I hope they get this speak. But this, from what I'm hearing, this is something that has just been brewing for a very long time between these
Mhm.
two, and it just happened to come to a halt with the whole Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark situation. And the crazy thing is, I don't even hear Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark going as hard on this situation. She said what she had to say, and that was it. So for him to turn around and come around, and then because it just seems like he has such an issue with Angel Reese because he's always talking so negative about this girl, and
Mhm.
she don't deserve that. You know what I
And that's
mean?
where
So
it could really come into like how RG3 feels like someone or Ryan Clark was attacking his family or saying something about his family. Like, what do you think? How do you think Angel Reese's family feels? Like, how do you think her
exactly.
father, her mother feel about the way that you portraying his daughter? Forget what you're saying about. You can say that because I've seen things about Angel Reese being the worst professional sports player. I've seen her saying the worst player in the WNBA. You can say all that as you want to, but the moment that you start taking it as, oh, she's the type of person to go sucker punch someone, what do you think that you're saying about this person's character? We've never seen Angel
Exactly.
do anything like that. We haven't seen any dirty plays that are like, oh, this is the type of player she is. I've seen more dirty plays done to Angel Reese than I've seen from Angel Reese. So
Yeah.
that just really goes to show the type of person that she is, because even after that whole foul, she just said, like, next question, it was a regular foul. Like, and it is,
Mhm.
because we can't sit here and act like every NBA player, every NFL player, every MLB player likes somebody else on the other team. No, a lot of
Mhm.
these people probably could care less if these people don't have a job next season. So why are we going to sit here and act like two people that have faced off against each other in college, in the WNBA, can't open their phone without seeing their name next attached to someone else's name, whether that be positively or negatively? You think they're
Exactly.
gonna like that person after a while? No. At some point, you do get
No.
tired of it. It is a rivalry. You got to have that in sports. Like, I'm pretty sure for the longest time, as soon as Russ and KD wasn't on teams and on the same team no more, they was head to head. So it's like,
Mhm.
people don't always have to like each other, but there is always a certain level of respect, which I do believe Caitlyn and Angel have for each other because,
Exactly.
once they're not on the court, it's all like nothing but positivity that can be said about each other when it's asked, when it's a question, whether
Because
that
you
be
would know. You would know if it was issues off the court because they would because we live in such a social media time,
Mhm,
they would be agreeing with other people are saying. They would be saying, taking quotes from other people and posting it. It would be so much back and forth bickering, but it's not like that. So
mhm.
on the court, if this is the type of level of competition that they have and it's aggressive, I'm all for it. Because with, like you said, what you're seeing off court, you're not seeing any of that. So when he starts insinuating, and then to say that, what was it, Aaliyah Boston saved her life or saved her career, it's like, why are you going there? That like what you're trying to do is paint the picture so you where you can get people to agree because there is going to be
Mhm.
people that's going to agree with that.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
gonna be
thing
like, yeah,
about
she
it
was
is
trying to punch her.
when you do that, now you're putting it out there for other people to start being critical of her too, and that's not right. That's not fair because again, you're not doing that to the other side. So what
Mhm.
it does look like now, it does look like here's this black man attacking a black woman. He has his white wife in the background, so now it's easy for him to defend that situation, and that's not right. You know what I mean? Race shouldn't be brought into it. um, I don't think when you start attacking somebody's character,
Mhm.
it's like you're taking away from what this sport is. And once you start doing that, it gets ugly. And like I said, as much as people say we have to protect Angel Reese, I also think we have to protect Caitlin Clark too, because they are both great competitors. They're both class act women. Um, they They do what they have to do. They've been doing this what they have to do. So when you do get the male perspective like this, then you're making it ugly, And then he's not the first one that's done that. There's been a few and it's men that's doing this, and that's the thing that I
Yeah.
don't like. It's men attacking women. Like, come on
Mhm.
now, like we should be better than that, Because at
Mhm.
the same time, RG3 is not saying this about other basketball players or other football players that are men because he does have to deal with that repercussion of somebody coming in his face, and now he's going to have to deal with that. You know what I mean? So I think it's an ugly way that he's using his platform. And again, like I said, I don't know as much about his podcast. I didn't even know he had a podcast until this whole situation came about. I knew about Ryanclark's because I watch him, I followed him, I follow the pivot. You know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
one of I really enjoy what he does for the sport. I enjoy his podcast because it gives you a well balance of everything,
Mhm.
So, but
Nah,
if you're
I agree with
using
you on that though. I agree with you on that though because like when it comes to a point where men are just hopping on this hate train, especially towards like younger women, and you already have this following of older men, younger men, and like those people that they call incels that'll just spend all day online spreading hate towards these people that maybe their favorite celebrity doesn't like.
it's weak.
And there was even a situation like that where I'm not even sure if you familiar with Soul Illuminati and this girl Zoe, but these people that are like walking into like the streamer university and stuff like that. So basically,
Okay.
this girl had got denied from streamer university, and then Soul Illuminati, this dude that's probably a few years older than me, just hopping on that hate train about this girl, and then next thing you know, it's like multiple other male streamers just hopping on. Oh yeah, like just hopping on that hate train. It's corny, it's whack, and then then you had to the point you had like people like Soldier Boy like standing up for the girl, like calling it out, like yo, that's weak, bro. Like this girl already was going through it. You kicking her while she's down, and the type
Mhm.
of fan base that you have that is like I said, like these people that spend online all day just spreading hate. So you have
Yeah.
like like this army of people just sent to attack people, and that's essentially what RG3 is building. Because, like you said, people gonna take that notion and run with like, oh yeah, she was actually probably was trying to hit her.
Exactly.
Never
Exactly.
watched the Angel Reese reaction to a play in their life, but they hear RG3 say it, so it's like, oh yeah, and then they seeing his wife in the background that's probably the same color as them, agreeing with it. Like, yeah.
We'll see how this plays out, man. But yeah, this has definitely been another great episode. King to a Prince, the Royal Code.
Y'all be good, man.
Y'all be good, and we'll talk to y'all soon.